jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back
First in the building, Mike on deck. What's good with it? Carlos Rosado is on deck. Salute to you, brother. Appreciate everyone that's in the building. Mass fishing and growing. Salute to you. I see you on deck. Charles on deck. I see you. Yes, sir, indeed. I had to go get in for a late one, slide it in here. You know what I'm talking about? But let's get down to it, man. You know what I'm saying? The introduction is where they are. And of course, we have to give a big shout out to the hottest chat in the MF'n game. A-side official. No negotiation needed. You better know it. Looking at the thumbnail, for those of you that may not have clarity to what I'm about to speak on, it's the ultimate breakdown as to why and the how that goes on in the YTC. Leading up to this fight, man, we heard so much take place, man. We heard that the fighters was, this fighter was talking this fighter was talking that. We heard, Charlo talking. We heard him on the Last Stand, podcast, how he was talking so much noise. But it's one particular moment that stood up leading to this is when they was trying to highlight that Charlo was talking and trying to build up this fight with Canelo Alvarez. See, we knew it was something. Both Charlos in the same building. They're sitting at the Canelo and John Ryder fight. You know what I'm saying? Out of all the people that were sitting in that crowd, the onlookers who's basically there to see the fight, they had the mic on the Charlo brothers. And what we heard was, they was criticizing Charlo. One of the Charlos uttered that he can beat him. I can beat him. You know what I'm saying? We don't know for sure if that's cap or not, because it's one half of the Charlos still remaining, right? But they had him mic'd up. They was trying to make that a grand moment. They probably whispered in their ear, Diddy James, hey, they told me, you get that tap on the shoulder, start talking shit about Canelo to build up the fight. And that's what happened. They talked shit about Canelo to build up the fight. And we seen, it play out on All Access. They got their little cameo appearance. It didn't mean shit because we found out that was tragic. You know what I'm saying? But not so much. It wasn't tragic so much to the physical being, but tragic so much to their brand and their name, right? Terrence Crawford stepped in there July 29th, right? And we already know it's so much information out here. It's so much to talk about, to the backstory about this shit. It's just so much, man. I mean, the payload is heavy, heavy, heavy. Speaking about what led up to that fight. But while Terrence Crawford was carrying out this legalized homicide, Jermell Charlo happened to be ringside. And there was a moment during that July 29th T-Mobile massacre is that Jermell Charlo chose to have a conversation with a professional basketball superstar. Now, I'm not sure how inclined the James Harden is. You know what I'm saying? I do know he's inclined with the shea butter, and his beard is pretty much intact. I understand when it comes to beard and facial hair, James Harden is on top of that shit. He's very knowledgeable. He can tell you all the freaking 9 steps it take to get his beard the way it is. But we was at the boxing match, and Charlo is on record as pretty matter of fact, I'm gonna do you one better because it's only right. Hold on for a second. Hold on for a second. I'm about to pull this up. I'm about to share this with you right quick, just so you can bless your ears, with this moment, because this moment is special, y'all. We was able to listen to Charlo in true form, pretty much talk to a basketball star and pretty much put it out there as if he was truly ready for this challenge. You know what I'm saying? Not just the challenge of Terrence Crawford, but he mentioned Canelo Alvarez. He was clout chasing. The reason why I bring this up, because he mentioned that post-fight, right? He said, yeah, I heard, Crawford out there lip tussling, or whatever the phrase he used. And then he tried to go on and say, well, I understand he clout chasing. Okay, we all know that was bullshit. But take a listen to this particular audio when Charlo was attempting to convince James Harden that he was the baddest man in the freaking arena that night. You know what I'm saying? That Bud Crawford, hey, it ain't nothing what he's doing right now. That's really the first diss. If you look, if you listen to it, right? This is the first diss. I must get that out there. This is the first diss that did it for Errol Spence. This was the first diss. This is what I'm talking about. The shit that's been going on behind the scene. This was the first one. Real talk. This was the first open diss that Jermell Charlo sent to Errol Spence. Just pay close attention to it.
In my weight class. Bro, I'm fighting Canelo next. I don't know what that nigga talking about. I'm undisputed at 154. I already did that. Them niggas can't fuck with me, nigga.
He said those Negroes cannot fuck with him. That's what he said. Let me go back just a little bit so you can hear it again.
In my weight class. Bro, I'm fighting Canelo next. I don't know what that nigga talking about. I'm undisputed at 154. I already did that. Them niggas can't fuck with me, nigga.
Who is them? Who is them? Who is them? I would like to know who was them there, Jermell. Who was them? Who was them? That was really the first diss that he sent out, because he was pretty much implying that he can't be fucked with them. Niggas can't fuck with him, right? And he was making it seem like Crawford can't, but he wasn't implying Canelo. He wasn't implying Canelo. We all know he wasn't implying Canelo because that's where he was his nicest. You know what I'm saying? He was a birthday boy. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to piss off Canelo because Canelo might have not sent him a birthday cake or whatever the case that was going on with why he was respecting Canelo. But truth be told, let's get down to the wickets. This man had a conversation with James Harden and he lied to him. He said James Harden, he looked James Harden to his face. He had that little menacing look, you know what I'm saying? He was looking all gruffy. And he said, them niggas can't fuck with me. Them niggas can't fuck with me. And that's the final image that James Harden had of Jamel Charlo, because it doesn't get any closer than that. You right there next to Jamel and his girl. It don't get any closer than that. You right there. He's carrying on a convo with you right there. Wow. Your stablemate, Errol Spence, is getting beat up by Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas can't fuck with you as Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. He said it. Them niggas can't fuck with me. He was talking about Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence can't fuck with him. He wasn't talking about Canelo because he wasn't there to freaking highlight any animosity or talk any shit towards Canelo. He was being a good little boarding school charter type student, you know, homeschool. You know what I'm saying? Go soul winning on the weekends with the Christians. You know what I'm saying? He was preparing himself to do that. But on this night, July 29th, he was still gonna be that guy, this loudmouth, you know what I'm saying? From out of DeSoto. Not DeSoto, Dallas or whatever he's at right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't really keep up with him, but he lied. He sat up there and freaking lied. And really, none of the PBC channels held him accountable for that shit. For straight up lying to James Harden to his face to say they couldn't F with him. Knowing damn well that wasn't the case. You know what I'm saying? James Harden was looking at that fight with the look that you see on this thumbnail. That's James Harden looking at that shit like, dude, what am I looking at? What's going on? Why is Harvey Doc giving you the count? What is all this running I'm saying? That's James Harden real time. James Harden with his mouth open like this. Huh? He was sounding like freaking the Yin Yang twins. Huh? You know what I'm saying? He was sounding like, you know, if you walking in the right environment and you got damn, you know, you hearing all these animals out there, that's the kind of shit you get. You know what I'm saying? Like James Harden was startled at what he was watching. He was startled, frightened. He thought that he was hallucinating because the last sighting that he had with Jamel Charlo was a simple fact. This man say they can't fuck with me. So James Harden took that, and he know that the fight date was coming up. And what he was witnessing play out in front of him, he's like, huh? Make it say, nah. James was like, huh? He couldn't quite get it because this dude that was next to him was telling him, hey, man, I already did that. I'm undisputed. I already did that shit. I'm fighting Canelo next. So James is looking at it like, okay, I'm not an avid boxing fan, but damn, this nigga said he the man. Okay. When James tuned in, you know, he just finished shooting some threes, working on his dribbling. You know what I'm saying? Well, I wouldn't say threes. I say fours. He probably making some half-court shots. He said, you know what? Hey, fellas, y'all want to come on over, man? We having a fight party, man. That's that nigga I was telling you about. That shit that went viral. Yeah, that's him. He fighting tonight. He said them niggas can't fuck with him. So James Harden might have assumed that Jamel Charlo was talking about Canelo. Talking about them niggas can't fuck with me. He might have assumed. He might not have been that close to boxing. You know what I'm saying? Somebody told, you know, James Harden to come over there because that Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence fight was going to be the one to watch. He said, hey, come on out, bro. Watch this. This is going to be the one to watch right here. This is going to be the one to watch. So when James was watching this shit, his mouth stayed open the whole freaking time. He said, man, goddamn, this nigga running more than we do on the court. Full court. Overtime. He couldn't believe his eyes, y'all. Jermell Charlo had lied to him to his face. And James thought it would be a mutual respect because they was both black. They was both professional athletes. But obviously, you know what I'm saying? He'd get over it. He'd get over it. That was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? James Harden had to be put through that drama. You know, not drama, but that trauma. You know, he was traumatized off what he was watching on TV because he thought he was next to a real killer. You know what I'm saying? He thought that this guy right here was legendary. He thought he was next to somebody special. He felt that the money that he spent on his ticket was worth the while, y'all. But yet, when he started to see the fight play out, he was just in disbelief. Disbelief. You know what I'm saying? Everything was a nightmare that night. And look at Canelo. Canelo said, I told you. You will see, you will learn. Look at him. He said, look at him. He's on one knee. I never really truly came out my PJs that night. Even though it looked like I was in my trunks and my gloves, you know, in my mind, I was still in my PJs. I mean, I didn't really get pushed to the limit or anything, not even close. I felt comfortable, like I was lounging in my silk Dolce Gabbana. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was still in my PJs. I felt that relaxed in there. That's why Canelo at the end of the fight said, nobody can beat me. Because he felt like, damn, that was easy work for 12. That was easy work. And I got a knockdown. And I put hands on one of the Charlos. I'm good. I'm good, bro. Shout out to Town Biz in the building. And he said he did it for the culture. Don't try to coach it. Don't tie that culture to us. Yeah, we're not trying to have any of that culture that Jermell Charlo was talking about. We're not trying to hear any of that bullshit he was talking about. See, one black man is not going to speak for all black men. You're not going to tie your performance as if you're the leader, like we look up to you. That's how fucked up it was. You want to give people the impression that you are somehow adored by your people. No, we don't adore you like that. You know what I'm saying? We want to grab the knob of a door and tell you, hey, it's okay to come in and slam that motherfucker shut. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you're talking about that type of door, nobody was following you. When he was up there capping, talking about I got the country behind me. No, nigga. No, you don't. No, you don't. The only person that's behind you that's faithful and loyalty, and I don't think he is your shadow. Your shadow probably be trying to whoop your ass, but you just can't feel the punches, nigga. Let's be honest with yourself. Let's be honest. You probably can't feel the punches because it's your shadow. But your shadow been whooping your ass, and that's why it feel like, hey, I don't have to stay close to you like that. You ain't gonna do shit about it. Free Bomac for sure, man. Free Bomac, man. Samuel on deck. I see you. Dan Tan on deck. Shout out to Lisa Bells. Maybe one day I can try to figure out why I cannot see Lisa Bells, the OG. How you feeling, sister? How are you feeling? Hope all is well your way. Samuel said Charlo lied to James Harden. Charlo also said he is knockout artist, right? And went in there and bowed to Canelo. Samuel's on to something. Samuel is using these. Y'all are just using these acute words. Bowed. You know, you think about bowing. It just underscore the surrender. You know what I'm saying? The posture of someone surrendering. You know what I'm saying? When you're genuflect on one knee and you're bowing, you're showing respect to a higher power. That's what we're seeing with Jermell Charlo. This is tough for a lot of people. And I place a lot of this liability on these PBC channels because, first of all, I didn't feel the support was equal across the board from one PBC fighter, Errol Spence, to that of Charlo, and they under the same stable. Well, they used to be, but I'm just trying to keep it in, present past tense. You know what I'm saying? At one time, they was on the same stable, and leading up to this fight, I didn't hear any updated. I didn't hear the same type of energy. I just seemed like it just seemed to me it was a bit lackluster. Like you all didn't stay by the golden rule, PBC for life. I didn't get that energy, PBC for life. Y'all should have been supporting these PBC fighters with the same energy y'all gave Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was looking for, and it didn't happen. That was kind of disappointing me because I was really looking for a lot more thumbnails to be, put out here in the media Serengeti talking about Jermell Charlo and such a big opportunity that he has to step in there with Canelo Alvarez. I guess y'all didn't want to take that risk. You know what I'm saying? You will take risks talking about Bud all day, but I guess y'all didn't want to take that risk. And y'all should have been exhausted being the Showtime is going to be a distant memory come the back end of 2024. And that's what I want to talk about next, because I feel it's very important to kind of highlight something that was put out here. I know a lot of people don't like Rick Glaser names popping up, but I have to salute Rick for putting this out earlier this year. He absolutely did. He said, printed nowhere yet, a decision has been rendered by Paramount Global, the parent company of Showtime. There would be no Showtime boxing after 2023 on cable or streaming. If there's any boxing at all by Showtime, it will be exclusive for pay-per-view distribution. The pay-per-view numbers on Showtime pay-per-view event upcoming will more than likely determine if Showtime continues on the pay-per-view distribution. I know some will be doubting this. Please hold the insults, you doubters. And sure enough, that information has been registered as being valid. You know what I'm saying? It's been registered. This is legitimate confirmation. It has been registered that Showtime may be potentially calling for a benediction and on their way out the door. It seems like their matrimony or their partnership with the PBC may have been consummated. We will see in upcoming weeks, months, as to how that all play out. But ultimately, once again, with all the PBC pundits, all the pro PBC channels is out here, and they just talking about one particular fighter, and Bud Crawford supporting Errol Spence the way they do. After everything, all the content that you put out, y'all couldn't even stop Showtime from leaving. You know what I'm saying? Everything, all them hours upon hours upon hours upon hours of talking this nonsense rhetoric, you couldn't entice Showtime to stay put. None of you had enough power and subscribers and viewers. It wasn't enough super chats for all y'all to get together and donate to Showtime and say, hey, this is how much we love you. Please stay with our God, our Lord, our Savior, Mr. Al Grand Pooba Heyman. Please don't abandon him, because we don't. Why couldn't y'all keep this together? This is all I'm saying. That's your Lord, your King, your Savior. You all couldn't come up with super chat money and come up with a consolidated fund and present it to the executive, the president of Showtime. Say, hey, we know you all have money. We know y'all have the budget each year for PBC, but we want to show our love and admiration for you. We want to show you how much we appreciate you, because we was bragging about the fights that was being put on the PBC and Showtime. We was bragging about how 2023 was just putting on some incredible fights. We was bragging. So now we want you to brag on us. That's why we put up all our money and we're going to give it to you. So potentially you can show us favor with getting some of these credentials. You know what I'm saying? So we can support you all a little bit more. See, they wasn't thinking like that. But I'm just wondering why y'all couldn't have gotten with y'all leader. I don't know who's the leader on here at the YTC when it comes to the pro PBC channels, but one of y'all have to take the goddamn front. Why couldn't y'all come up with some type of plan to persuade Showtime to stay in place? Why all of a sudden people coming up with information and making light of PBC joining BOK Prime? That would be hilarious, because I heard somebody say, well, if that's the case, then all the silent partners is going to come out once again. They're going to peek their head from behind the bush and say, hey, you thought we was gone, huh? Hey, welcome back. We're here. We're ready to put on some grand fights. And then I wonder if the same people are going to look and see if the overall value of the BOK Prime, their net worth, has increased. Because before, everybody was on a witch hunt. And they were saying, oh, BOK Prime only $5 million. How they gonna pay Crawford 8 figures? It's only $5 million, man. What they gonna pay him in monopoly money? You know what I'm saying? That's what they was doing. But the fight went off without a hitch. They did what they supposed to do. But now I'm hearing people talk about BOK Prime may potentially be in the running. And I just laugh at that shit, dog. In my sobriety state, I just laugh at that, because, you know, we do have so many silent partners that's attached to this BOK Prime out here on the YTC. I wonder if indeed that BOK Prime muster up enough investors to become the one. You know what I'm saying? I'm just curious to know how that's going to work out. I'm wishing them nothing but the best over there. Because listen, truth be told, let WCS enlighten you PBC pundits on something. Let me enlighten you all on something. You all in the year 2023 have gotten y'all ass whooped. I swear to God. You know, y'all was worried about the wrong thing when it came to Crawford. But 2023, y'all was gloating, you know what I'm saying, off 2 fights. You know what I'm saying? Which was good fights. They was okay, you know. Tank Davis kicked off 2 solid fights. Really the one with Ryan Garcia. And then, you know, y'all was waiting for the Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford situation. That was really supposed to get the momentum going. That was really supposed to be the helium to the balloon to just take it through the welkin. You know what I'm saying? And take it to new heights, right? What goes up? Go ahead, finish it. What goes up must come down. And I say, you PBC pundits out there in the YTC, y'all took a thrashing this year. I know y'all counting the days of October so it can hurry up and usher in November, and then goddamn bleed into December. Goddamn run out on December 31st until the damn 1st of January 2024. I know y'all can't wait to flee the scene from 2023. You thought 22 was bad, but y'all had somebody to blame then. Y'all was busy up there finger pointing at Crawford. 2023 was all y'all. You couldn't blame nobody. Oh, my bad. Yes, you can. You're going to still blame the man for July 29th massacre that went on. I get it. But y'all was taking a thrashing this year, bro. People's whole entire lives and mentality changed about boxing. Let me take this down, bro, because Rick Glaser told y'all what it was. He did. He told you what it was. You think Canelo getting 50 mics? He getting 50 mil for this Charlo fight, and you think Showtime is going to stay in business? When somebody, anybody is willing to dump the whole payload into Canelo Alvarez for fighting a mediocre fighter coming up 2 weight divisions, all because he was undisputed at super welterweight, you decide to dump all this money into Canelo. Praises and salute to Canelo, because he goddamn he man, you want to talk about a daylight heist. This was a daylight heist right here. 50 million for fighting Charlo. 50 million for fighting a Charlo. I remember this is the same Charlo that said he had dudes in this group that would go to prison for life for him. I wonder if those particular persons are, or person is still around after watching that performance. Do they feel like that is something that they need to put 100% max effort into? You know, all the naysayers that's now criticizing him from his performance, I really hope they don't do anything stupid, because in reality, it's public record. We all watched it play out. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't exactly the T-Mobile Massacre Part 2, but it was similar to that. You know what I'm saying? It was just a smidgen, because we didn't really see any blood, you know, no signs of hemoglobin, no freaking body liquids, you know what I'm saying? Not even sweat. I mean, I sent my own forensic team there afterwards to basically collect samples. I wanted to know if it was something I missed from here. You know what I'm saying? All the way here in the South. I want to know, was it something that I missed? I want to know, just because when I was looking at TV, I didn't see any blood. I didn't see any swelling. I wanted to know if I missed something. So as I was combing through the video that night, I was looking for any sign of blood. My team couldn't find any. So I said, search for sweat. Okay? Searching for sweat, because I didn't see any of that either. Maybe, and matter of fact, can you please collect the data of what was the temperature in there? See if the temperature is about 25, 30 degrees. I didn't see too many people with fur minks and heavy jackets on, but please check that too. My team returned and said, hey, the temperature was around 76, you know what I'm saying, degrees, 77 per the units. And then with all the body heat and everything in there, you know, it was a tad bit higher in the low 80s. I said, okay. What about the findings of perspiration? You know what I'm saying? Was there any African American sweat located in the ring? You know what I'm saying? Recent. And they say, no, none. Zero. Nothing. They couldn't find any traces of sweat nor blood. I say, wow, that's unbelievable. That is unbelievable. And then also, I told my team, right? I said, can you get an assessment from one of the members that was ringside commission on, you know, their take of the fight when it comes to Undisputed? You know, what grade do they give this particular fight at the T-Mobile Arena? And my team was unable to get a verbal response from the commission. All they gave him was a nonverbal cue. And I'm not really familiar with this nonverbal cue, but it was like when you stick your hand up and you have your fist balled up and then your middle finger pop up. I'm not too familiar with that. I was raised as a Baptist Christian, so if you all can lighten me on that, it was like your palm is facing you and your middle finger pop up straight to the ceiling, and all the rest of them are tucked nice and tight. I don't know what that nonverbal cue was like. I don't know if it meant number one or what. I'm just curious. Really, I was just curious about that. And they say the look that the guy had on his face, he's like, damn, he seems like he was a little pissed that I asked him about the question. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, my friend told me that when my team member walked away from that particular moment, the guy actually put up his right hand, and flicked him off with both. I say that nonverbal cue has to be something serious if he's using both hands. I at first I said, you know, this could be a boxing combination. This could be something where you know what I'm saying, where you can extend that finger while your glove is on and throw that punch and your finger protrudes through the glove and poke your opponent in the eye and the referee isn't able to see it. I thought about a lot of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I thought about a lot of that shit because I had to get down to why Jermell Charlo was trash in his performance. Why he chose to basically represent the track culture. Why that fight, after all the shit you've been talking, why did you just go in there in an all-black robe? You go in there in an all-black robe like you going through some type of freaking society freaking initiation, some type of fraternity or something, dressed in all fucking black. And then you come out the gate and you're not really giving us that energy like you're a vigilante or something, like you going here to make history, like you want your people to know that you showed up to show out. We didn't get that shit from you, Jermell, and it sucks. It sucks, man. I guess Canelo getting 50 million. I guess you're 20 million. You was good. That shit sucked, man. I ain't gonna lie, that shit sucked. Ought to be damned. But I place the blame on the freaking PBC pundit, the pro PBC channels that didn't do enough due diligence out here to make this turn out better than what it was, man. You know what I'm saying? They could have reached out. All these sources, y'all couldn't reach out to Jermell. Y'all was up there believing all that bullshit he was feeding y'all on fight week. He was up there playing nice. Let's see what his attitude's like now. Because look, I'm gonna tell you the card he's trying to play. Jermell Charlo is gonna try to somehow, oh, y'all want me, y'all was complaining about me being quiet with Canelo. Now I'm gonna talk my shit. No, we don't want to hear that bullshit, dog. Get the fuck out of here with that. You're not gonna point the finger at somebody else and say, oh, the reason why I'm talking shit again is because y'all said I was too quiet. Man, get the fuck out of here. You was kissing ass. I'm going back down to 54, make the way easy. If Zoo next, then I'm on it. No, Charlo is a thief. Don't care who he fights next. Man, he was up here faking it, dog. He was up here faking it for real. Shout out to Harvey Dock for being a referee in 2 fights with history on the line and did an excellent job in both fights. He did. And you know the grandiose part about that, Carlos, is Harvey Dock actually still remembered going through the fish fry era. Because I sent Harvey Dock some of that red snapper, that goddamn trout. I sent him some goddamn premium fry fish. And like you said, shout out to Harvey Dock for doing an excellent job in 2 fights and actually being a witness. He was he was a witness to seeing both of these PBC fighters. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one's gone. And another one's gone. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites. See, Harvey Dock knows that song because he had to give the count to both Errol Spence Jr. and Jermell Charlo. Am I lying? I'm not lying. I'm telling the honest truth. Harvey Dock was there to baptize both Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo in 2023. This is within months of one another, y'all. Harvey Dock is a part of history. We need Harvey Dock back if Errol Spence steps in there with Bud Crawford again. Why? I'll tell you why. Because Harvey Dock had basically came online in the YTC and he basically filtered through all the bullshit ass questions about people trying to ask him leading questions as if, did you see anything wrong with Errol Spence's eyeballs before he came down to the ring? He looked a little sleepy, like he just woke up from a nap. Harvey, did you see anything, Harvey? No, I didn't see anything. I seen the fighter. And let me say this once again, because I told you niggas before. It's not within my scope to be up here trying to stick a thermometer in a fighter. trying to check his damn temperature and goddamn, try to see if any physical ailments are present. That's not what I do. That's not my area of responsibility. In military terms, that's not my AOR, you sucker. So ask me that shit again. Harvey Doc, he was explaining that shit. When you went to the locker room, did you see anything that looked odd or suspicious to you? Like I told you before, nothing looked odd to me. Nothing. The only thing that played out in front of my eyes is what struck me as odd, because behind the scenes, everybody was telling me about this killer that was out of DeSoto, Texas, that had 3 belts on him. 28-0, undefeated. The better resume, all that shit I heard. But when the fight started to play out, I had my shit personally pressed by the Tri-Clean, custom press. Instead of having 1 pleat on each side, I had 2 pleats. I had my shit crispy. And then Terrence, I don't know what the fuck was going on with him, but he started landing punch after punch after punch after punch, punch after punch after punch, punch after punch after punch after punch, punch after punch after punch, and got my shit bloody. I said, God damn it, I'm about to put a halt to this fight so I can change shirts. And then I thought about it. No, Tony Weeks has been in one of the other bloodiest matches with Marcus Brown and Badu Jack. I said, I'm built for this shit. Yeah, Harvey Doc had to go through some shit. You know what I'm saying? Terrence was up there landing those punches and blood was splattering all over Harvey Doc. He was like, God damn it. You messing up my shit. And then when he came in here, he thought, you know what? I'm not going to wear my best shirt this time. When he came in there with Canelo and Charlo, he said, no, I ain't wearing my best shirt. I'm just going to wear some shit, take that motherfucker, get it pressed. It's not going to be my best, though. And then once the fight started going on, I said, damn, I could have worn my best shit. I could have even put on a goddamn tuxedo and referee this shit, man. I'm not really doing any moving. At least I would have looked good on camera, goddammit. Harvey Doc did an excellent job, man. Salute to you, Harvey. Salute to you. Much respect to you, bro. Talk outside the ring is always whatever. What happened in the ring and laying down is when I can't support you no more. Hey, man, whoever you are, I don't know, Zorro. Man, you make a solid point. See, I think with us, that resonates to us is the point that he laid down. You know what I'm saying? Because it does take a real one to get in there in that ring on that level. But if you can't have the conversation all the time. Oh man, y'all don't know what it's like. Okay, we may not know what it's like on that level. Okay, but you do. So if you have been in a sport as long as you have, and you have earned the medal, the championship medals to put on your chest plate, you are no longer considered an average fighter. You have achieved greatness. You have achieved championship status, right? I'm not going to take that away from you, but we all know that boxing has a lot of belts, and depending on who in your weight class and who's lined up for you, it all works itself out, or whatever the case. But if you have a bravado, you know what I'm saying, the machismo, the mystique, you come off as brash, garrulous, belligerent. You know what I'm saying? You're very belligerent. People are expecting you to go into these fights and show us the reason why who you are when it comes to your belligerence. And this time we didn't see that, bro. We didn't see any of that. You was so docile, man. We was like, what the fuck is this? You was making motherfuckers want to get up and get some cotton candy. They were so bored. Man, I don't even fucking eat that shit, but I'm gonna go eat some cotton. Man, why you gonna do that, dog? That's fucked up. You don't eat cotton? I am tonight, man. This nigga's tripping. This shit is just, this is not what I expected. I wonder where the PBC gonna find a new home at. Hey man, they have all these PBC, pro PBC channels out here. They need to help them find a home. See, that's why I try to tell them. They was busy worried about the wrong thing. They're talking about Crawford, and Crawford's good. Crawford's not signed to a promotion. You know what I'm saying? He has a fight lined up with Showtime still going to be active. After that, he can go anywhere he want. I'm telling you, they spent the wrong amount of time trying to act like they was going to change how Crawford moves, when he moves, and what he should move for. And they did nothing. They should be focused on how and where, the next network going to come from, what the budget's going to be. Because they love talking about money. You know what I'm saying? Find out what's going on with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Find out what's going on with that. What's going on, X-Man? I see you in the building. Rick Hill on deck. What's good with it? Boxing is corrupt. All these recent fights have been fixed, and this present state, it needs to go away. Well, when I say a fight has the orders, people seem to get a little bit agitated. You know what I'm saying? When I say this fight had the orders, even with Canelo, this recent fight had the orders. Canelo was doing amateur type shit. That's the conduct unbecoming of who he is as a fighter. He wasn't trying to go in there and destroy freaking Charlo. He gave him a bye. That's what Canelo did. He gave that man a bye. Why? Because what purpose is it for him to have 2 more fights left on his contract? You know what I'm saying? 2 more fights. And for him to go in there and destroy Charlo. There's no purpose in it. He let the man live. Why? Because that's what he was supposed to do. He went in there and fought a little bit, and Charlo freaking bend the knee. He had to take the count. He said he was woozy and all this other shit. But Canelo, he really didn't go on the war path and try to get that dude up out of there. He didn't. Canelo never stepped out of his PJs, bro. He never fully got out the feeling. He was like, man, I just can't wait to go shower up and put back on my silkies. You know what I'm saying? I want to put back on the silkies. I feel so comfortable in that shit. What fighter walk around in PJs and look cool doing it? You know what I'm saying? Cinnamon. Rick Hill, that's been normal in boxing since the beginning. It was probably worse back then. But my only point in this is when you tell people that some fights have the orders, they don't want to believe you, because you have some people that don't follow boxing close enough to know what fight is on the orders and which one is not. Certain situations supposed to play out different. You know what I'm saying? You get opponents, you get fighters in there, and they look so dominant leading up to that fight, and then they go in there and you ask yourself like, no, that can't be true. We all know the Bud Crawford and Errol Spence fight, they wasn't on orders. Crawford beat his ass. You can see that. Crawford beat Spence's ass. Spence kept getting up and trying to do it. That's why I got more respect than I did for Spence. Spence is not a bitch at all. He ain't a bitch, man. For you to keep getting up from taking that ass whooping and don't lay down, keep on getting up, continue to fight on. Get off the canvas again, fight on. And Crawford's just giving you the absolute business. I commend him for that, but Crawford whooping that ass though. And that changed boxing as we know it right now. It changed it. Real talk. I want to give another big shout out to the hottest chat in the MF'n game. A-Side Official. You better know it. They talk boxing over here. They ain't over here goddamn picking their nose and shit and goddamn acting like they ain't never know. Man, what do the left glove go on the right hand and the right glove go on the left hand? You ain't gonna find that goofy ass shit over here. Brim Reaper on deck. What's good? Where did PBC Showtime come up with 50 million for Canelo? They might be going broke soon. I asked that question earlier, Samuel, and I am somewhat curious as yourself. I would like to know, you know what I'm saying, why and how could you pay Canelo 50 million for this fight? What is the next two fights going to be? You know what I'm saying? Canelo say if the money is right for Crawford, then maybe he'll fight him. Canelo is just playing the game, man. Canelo know that the only fight outside of Crawford that makes sense to a lot of people is David Benavidez. Period. David Benavidez. I want to give Demetrius Andrade a shot because you know that fight is going to be good. In my opinion, Benavidez Andrade is going to be a good fight. You know what I'm saying? But right now, when people are talking in the streets, and you know what I'm saying, and they're curious to know how Crawford would fare, they're looking to see if Crawford can pull out the best Canelo they ever seen, and they definitely want to know if Canelo can pull out the best unseen Crawford. You know, the weaponry that's been known to be in the vault, that no fighter that has stepped in the ring with him and been able to make this man put it on display. Can Canelo do that? You know what I'm saying? Will this be one of those Floyd Mayweather moments with Canelo, even in the back end of his career? Will Crawford go in there and make Canelo look worse than what Floyd Mayweather did? I mean, that's the curiosity you have to take in effect. And I know people sit behind listening and they laughing. I'm dead ass serious. If you think that you want to sit up here and talk about size all the time, why don't you just go look at Sugar Ray and Donnie Lennon? How big Donnie was than Sugar Ray, and how Donnie knocked him down early in the fight, and Sugar Ray kept fighting on and stopped him. I mean, you have to look at these fights, man, and understand that heavyweights have a weight gap all the freaking time. All the time. It's a gap in weight all the time. You have guys that's being outweighed by 50 pounds, 60 pounds, 70 pounds. At one point in time, Jarrell Miller was over 300 plus pounds, and his opponent was like 230. I mean, you had plenty of fighters go in there and weigh astronomically less than their opponent. I don't know where the money's going to come from. I mean, it's very strange that they're able to come up with 50 million for Canelo. 50 million for a total of 70 for a fight like this, just because it's Canelo. How and why do they see it feasible for one fighter to get paid this much money when you have multiple other fighters that can be getting some of that 50 million? Why? What type of pay scale is this? What type of monetary model are you dealing with? That is the dumbest shit, man. Like, I'm not complaining about Canelo's pockets, but I'm saying they're putting all this money into Canelo as if no other fighter can kind of get a piece of the pie. Where are the slices to basically serve them out to other fighters to build them up too? Why aren't they eating? Why are they out here starving and shit? And Canelo's up here getting 50 million for a Charlo. Come on, bro. Come on now. You know that's fucked up. We all been talking about Showtime, PBC, Future, Paramount for almost 2 years. We knew it was coming, unfortunately. Yeah. But I have to say that I can't say it's been the last 2 years. I can't say it's been the last 2 years because nobody was talking about this shit when, you know, the early 2022. Nobody's really talking about this like this. They was talking about what Tim Smith said in 2022 about not insulting Crawford. They didn't have the money and all this other shit. And then, they got to Spence fight came on deck, this, that, and the other with Ugas, and then negotiations. We know the budget was crazy. And I even did a live and say, hey, at the top of the year, they're going to have a whole new budget. And then, they're going to be able to schedule some pretty decent fights. They just couldn't. That's why I always tell people there's no way that Crawford and Spence was going to fight in 22 because they didn't have the money in the budget. They kept on pretending like doing live streams on this shit was going to change anything. They didn't have the freaking budget, man. They didn't have the budget to make that fight. That's why Tim said, oh, we don't want to insult them. He was telling you some shit. We don't want to insult them. We don't have the money. But yet, these PBC channels on here ran with the narrative. Talking about Crawford was negotiating in bad faith, moving funny, and all this other shit. And I'm saying to myself, okay, you know what I'm saying? If you continue to want to do live streams and your chat is not holding you accountable for that shit, then so be it, bro. Charlo made 20 million. That's crazy. That's robbery, real talk. That's good. That's good money. That's good money right there, goddamn it. 20 million? That man probably won't be seen to 2025. I mean, if he want to go on Brian Custer's podcast again, even Brian Custer is gonna be looking at him crazy, just like he's been doing. Just like Charlo tried to go in on freaking not Charlo, just like Spence tried to go in on Brian Custer a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Brian Custer be trying to show these brothers love, but these black fighters be tripping on you. They be getting sensitive and sparking up on you for no goddamn reason. That's why it's hard. Look, whenever I always say this, like, I try to support my people, but I hear so often that, it'll take a small group of beta niggas, right, to sit up here and say you dick riding or you being a groupie, but yet they're trying to get in good with a fighter. So what does passion consist of? Passion consists of energy that you're willing to present to whatever your goal is, whatever your target. And if you feel like that commitment is driven off how that fighter fights, how their personality is, how they carry themselves, interactions that you and that fighter have had, then it should be considered to be respect. This is me respecting you enough to rock with you heavy. But all too often, you hear black fighters that'll say this about media, that you're dick riding, that you are groupies. You know what I'm saying? And that's a turnoff for me. That's a turnoff to support, these fighters, if they black or not. It's a turnoff. It's a distractor. It's an obstacle that keeps me in such a calm mode that I say I don't have to fuck with you no more. And that's what the Charlos is. The Charlos always up to that shit. Always unapproachable, bro. Young black African American stud. Town Business said a big portion of the arena was closed off because they did not sell a lot of tickets for that fight. And you'll never see that part of the arena in the eye of the lens there, Town. They make sure that part of the arena that's closed off, you'll never see it, But look, so the gate was affected, obviously, right? The gate was affected. If they had a certain portion of the arena unseated, then my question again comes back to the 50 million. I'm curious about this 50 million now. Where did this money come from? How can they come up with 50 million? How, bro? How did y'all do that? I'm curious. How did y'all come up with the 50 million? I mean, can somebody help me understand the 50 million? It's puzzling to me. How can you get 50 million for a fight of this magnitude? How and I mean, where did you get that money? Where did you source that money, man? I just can't understand where did they source that money from? How can they get that much money for a fight that bombed with ticket sales, bombed in pay-per-view? You know what I'm saying? Why haven't the numbers came out for pay-per-view yet? They say usually Wednesday. So let's see if tomorrow that those inflated numbers come out. If they come out here talking about the numbers did like 800,000 and shit, and I'm gonna run the bullshit flag all the way up that motherfucking pole, right? And that shit gonna be dripping in goddamn fecal matter, for real. I'm not gonna run that bitch up. I'm gonna have somebody else do it. That shit gonna be dripping doo doo, for real. That's the only way to get your message across. I'm gonna run the bullshit flag up there, and that shit gonna be brown for a reason. They say, "Excuse me, my lord, where did they get that flag from?" Seems like it's straight out of a septic tank. Do they even know what's dripping off that flag? All the mosquitoes and flies. At least they're already rumoring 600K. Okay, so they talking about 600K. 600K for that fight, man. Come on. You know how many people had to waste their money? Come on, they want to put it equal to greater than Spence Crawford, huh? 600 mil for real. Did they actually believe that Charlo had a chance to go in there and upset Canelo? I'm going to answer with an astounding, unequivocally, no. Canelo got 50 mil. People are saying he got 20. Did this fight even gross 70? Man, this fight couldn't have grossed 70. JD, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to JD on deck. It couldn't have, man. It couldn't have. Yeah, that grilled mahi mahi is on point. I'm not trying to talk about food this late because, God damn it, Waffle House is 24/7. Now I don't have to go to no Waffle House. I ain't gonna even bullshit you. I don't have to go to no Waffle House like that. But every now and then, I love to go down there and see my people. And goddamn, hey, cook me those buttered grits. God damn it. Good. No. Matter of fact, let me stay on topic. Okay, I gotta maintain discipline. Charlo dared to be wealthy. I like that, Shawty. I like that. Charlo dared to be wealthy. Oh my God, that's a classic. Charlo dared to be wealthy, y'all. God damn. That is hilarious, man. I'm not gonna lie. He dared to be wealthy. I may one point in time have to reuse that. I'm putting it out here on the replay game. I might have to use that. Charlo dared to be wealthy. I may have to put that in the thumbnail, real talk. You know what I'm saying? You're on your shit, Samuel, for real. I might have to put that in the thumbnail. Numbers are reporting early 600K, total generates 75 mil. So you're trying to tell me everybody made, in surplus 5 million? Okay. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Jessica said, we're global, baby. It's better to be global than just local. Yes, sir. Salute to Jessica on deck. WCS in the chat. Salute. Appreciate you pulling up once more. We in here. Always that hot grease. The hottest chat in the MF'n game. A-Side official. You already know. I haven't been getting notification for some reason. Hey, it's out of my hands, but you know what I'm saying? All you have to remember is that the replay game is available. You know what I'm saying? It's available. I cannot get them to send out notifications. PBC going to Tyler Perry Network. Damn. The good thing about that, Tyrese, I'm gonna be honest with you. Good thing about that is potentially if the PBC go to Tyler Perry Network, right? There may be more fights down here in the A because Tyler Perry studio is unbelievable. Let me tell you, it's unbelievable. So if that is indeed has any validity to it, I look forward to it. But that doesn't mean I'm true to what I say. I'm not supporting any other PBC fights. As far as requesting credentials, no, I don't have time for that bullshit. 600K is 51 million. Ticket sales, merchandise, etc. might up to 24 to get your number of 75. PBC made no money on the event. If the 600K number and 70 million to a fighter. We don't know the exact numbers. We don't know if Charlo got 20 million or 20,000. I would go with the latter. You know what I'm saying? 20,000 to me for that performance would be great. That would be fair, in my opinion. 20,000. You know what I'm saying? And that's before taxes. Hey, that's before taxes, God damn it. That's before taxes. Stop screwing around. That's before taxes. Jamel felt like it was in running of the bulls with all the Mexico there. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, y'all giving me some crazy ideas, man. I already did a thumbnail with a bull on it. When I was talking about Texas. Shoot, that running of the bulls, yeah. I like that. Creativity. Goddamn running of the bulls in that ring. I just gotta come up with how to put it on display though. That shit's hilarious. That shit's hilarious. I'm getting it. I'm coming up with a picture, y'all. You know what I'm saying? He said he was daring to be wealthy. Damn. The gall of some of you, the audacity to crack jokes on this guy. Hello ones, what's good? What up, WCS? Just kicking back, listen to the sizzle. Appreciate you, man. It's all one love, man. Appreciate my people just pulling up. Appreciate everyone that tune into the channel, the subscribers. Appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for supporting and repping the channel. You know what I'm saying? I try to make it about hot grease as much as possible. You know what I'm saying? JD, I surely didn't say they made money with this fight. Karate Body, what's good? I'm seeing you around in a minute. Hope all is well. You know what I'm saying? Garrett on deck. 50 million to one fighter, while certain channels out here thrashing people like Glaser for teaching us real business, real gym rats that can scrap deserve a real cut. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Talk your talk, man. Let them know what that hot grease all about. That's all I'm saying. Let them know what the hot grease all about, man. Boxing fans are some of the most, fair weather patrons that you ever deal with, fair weather consumers. They switch up at any given moment. This is 70 million if you include the runner. Cape Man P on deck, I see you. Hebrew on deck, what's good? I got to be drunk to go to Waffle House. No. There's enough drunk people at Waffle House now. It's enough drunk people. If you catch them on a club night, you might meet your wife. Hey, dog, down here in the A, man, you can go in there and pay for a woman's meal. You get blessed. Thank you. Yeah, that all-star breakfast, girl. I hope you enjoy that. Blueberry waffles too. You know what I'm saying? Egg over easy. I see you, girl. I see you. I got you that extra sausage patties too. Yeah. Crispy. You know what I'm saying? With two crispy sides, bacon with that too. Yeah, you got the whole shebang. Shit. You buy a woman, then Waffle House take care of bill. She thank you forever. Well, what you got going on? What I got going on? I came down here to get some breakfast. But where you going back to? Going back to the crib. For real, you want to eat breakfast at the crib? I I don't have anything going on. You want to go eat breakfast at the crib? Sure. Anyway, let me get back to the task at hand. Charlo cut a record deal with Boyz II Men singing on Bended Knee, album coming out soon. Man, you ain't lying, man. Hey, man, Charlo was talking about rainy days. For real. You know what I'm saying? Rainy days. That's what that shit. Truth be told, man, I look at this year, how once again the pro PBC channels was worried about the wrong thing. And that's why I can't understand why they will put so much effort, fluctuation of channels just dissolving right in front of you. Because I know some of these cats, was in bed with the PBC and they just felt like just because the PBC was giving them $5 cash out, every week for a total of $19 a month. Because sometimes they cut their ass short. They say, hey, you get it on the back end. But they're getting $20 a month, and they was out here just pushing any narrative possible. Now that the Showtime is leaving, I'm pretty sure the money is drying up very well. You know what I'm saying? It's evaporating. And you're not going to see a whole lot of PBC channels like you've been seeing since that Errol Spence situation. A lot of them have jumped ship, man. Like a lot of them have turned their back on freaking Spence and Diddy James. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them, bro. Based off that Jamel Charlo performance, man, a lot of them are turning their back on the PBC based off a couple of fighters. Seriously. Now, you still got Gervonta Davis, who's a real threat to anybody. You know what I'm saying? He said he ain't going to fight till next year. So the one thing about Gervonta, if he stay off the grid the way he is, when he comes back on the grid, everybody is waiting in anticipation to see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? He's just that dude. But as far as, the former face of the PBC, like the big name, Errol Spence, I mean, a lot of people just turn their back on him. You know what I'm saying? They'd rather talk about Crawford because Crawford was the one who changed up and proved to the people that, yeah, I'm going to do what I say to Spence. He went out there and did it. So they pretend like they hate the man, but they just doing it to get views and clicks. What do you call that? You call that cheerleaders. You call that beta bitches. You call that hoe ass shit. You call them all those names that really doesn't sit well with a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Because they'd rather continue to make up shit about Crawford instead of really talking about Showtime, basically leaving, farewell. They should be trying to think of a care package to give Showtime since they was up here bigging them up not too long ago. You know what I'm saying? They should really be talking about that, but they're not. They're talking about the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying? They're really talking about the wrong thing. They focus on the wrong thing, bro. Yeah, Club Night, you damn right. But F Waffle House, that was the past. And Kate Man P, I don't know where you at exactly, but Waffle House will never be the past. What can you go in there and get a full breakfast for $12, bro? You're not getting it at IHOP. Where can you go in there and get an all-star breakfast with waffles? Man, you better stop playing, dog. If people, now I'm a whole right quick. You can't go to every Waffle House because some of them motherfuckers be too dirty. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, where I'm at, that motherfucker is always clean. Plus, it's in a good area too. That motherfucker's always clean. But certain areas, oh man, the table's dirty. Roaches be up there with their motherfucking leg kicked up. Yeah, what's up, nigga? I see you. Yeah. All right. What you about to order? All right, just make sure you drop something on the floor in there. I'm gonna be right over there, man. All right. Sharing is caring, goddamn it. Sharing is caring. Drop some of that goddamn sausage, fresh sausage on the way it's hot. I like my shit hot. Roaches be up there goddamn hustling. These channels sold their souls to the PBC and Kelly Swanson for a few $1,000s. Yeah, no doubt. They just want to sit up here and say, man, forget what y'all say. I took a picture with it and all that. Man, fuck that fake shit. You know what I'm saying? That shit is a freaking obstacle course. That's it. And for them to go over there and sell, they couldn't stop what played out this past weekend with Charlo. They couldn't stop it. Canelo went in there and made him look like he was an amateur, man. He played with him. He had him on one knee. He said he was woozy. What happened with goddamn dumping the tank, going all out, lions only, instead of lion only? What happened to all that, bro? What happened to the moniker, man? We was looking for the moniker. What happened to the moniker, bro? The lions only hashtag. Okay, all right. That's what's up, man. Well, my people, I should be back on in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I got to step up out of here. I want to just give an hour or so on this topic. James Harden being lied to. Just calling Charlo out on his shit. And you know, pretty much that shit is pretty much at his out. It's on its way out. You know what I'm saying? The collapse is in full effect right now over there at the furniture store. Be willing. That shit you just seen. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Canelo Alvarez for doing what he do, but you got the orders too. You could have very well taken out Charlo, but you didn't. Jamel, you need to keep Terrence Crawford's name out your mouth. Don't nobody want to see that fight no more. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you go in there and freaking pick up the WBO title from Tim Tszyu after he finished with his next opponent. Then maybe we'll start chirping about this shit again. But right now, we don't want to see you fight Crawford. We don't want to see any of that shit. Not after that. We'd rather him go there and fight Canelo for a big money fight. Because truth be told, that Jamel, Crawford can make more than what you made with Canelo. Because people know deep down inside, in their heart of hearts, that Crawford's gonna put up a more of an effort than you. He's gonna go out there and leave it all on the line. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna leave it all out there on the line. He's a runner. Yeah, you know the rest. Y'all hold it down. Appreciate y'all for pulling up. Shout out to the hottest chat in the game. Enjoy y'all day. It's Wednesday already. Appreciate everybody. Continue to like, share, sub. I'm out.
Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss. Now you counting stars. Should've practiced more. Should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports.